Hello, I've been enjoying solving some of the advent of code problems for 2020. And I've recently discovered that Peter Norvig has created some very nice solutions in Python. Who is Peter Norvig? I learned of him when I took a course on artificial intelligence from Coursera that he co-taught with Sebastian Thrun, and he's the co-author of this book on AI. He also has an important role at Google now. Here's his webpage. And here are his solutions to the 2020 advent of code problems. And I'm going to show you his solution for day 6 today and explain it for those of you who don't know, who don't easily understand the difficult advanced Python that he's using. So he explains it pretty well. There's a customs form. Passengers are in groups. Yes answers are recorded like this. So here's a group with one person who said yes to A, B, and C. Here's another group with 2 people. One person said yes to A, B. One said yes to A and C. And then for the first part of the problem, you count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes. So this shows his code, and I have it in IDEA here. And so what I want to do is explain this. So if you can look at this and you get this right away, then there's no point in watching anymore. I'm just going to explain this for folks for whom this isn't clear. Okay, so let's look at how the input data is formatted first. So let me put a breakpoint here and run, and let's just look at this in 6. So the test data is on the right. You've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and it's been formatted through Peter Norvig's code into this list of groups, and a group is a list of strings. So it's a list of strings. And so in the first group, there's a list of one element, a string with the value A, B, and C, corresponding to this line. And the second group is a list of 3 elements, which are strings with the values A, B, and C, corresponding to the people's yes answers, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to stop the debugger, and let's think about how we could rewrite this code in a way that is easier for someone less skilled with Python to read. So the first thing, I'll just mention that sum is a function, and what's being passed to it is a generator expression that generates several integers that get summed. So if we want to kind of break apart a generator expression or a list comprehension, we can start with the loop part. So there's the loop part. And then what happens for each group in groups? Well, we do this. So let's just do that. So we'll make up little variable names until we can figure out what we've got. So CG gets that, and I'm going to add a type hint. So that's a string. And then we put that into a set. So I'm going to say set of CG is set of CG. And then let's get a type hint for that. And I think we'll be able to be more specific than any in a little bit. And then we take the length of that. So length of the set of the cat of the group is len of that. And the type of this is integer. And then we sum those lengths. So that suggests we've got to have some kind of counter to which we add the length of this. And then we can print that counter. I know the answer is supposed to be 11, so let's run and see what we get. And there it is. Okay, now let's run under the debugger and try to understand what's going on here. I'll put a breakpoint here and run. And now we're looking at the first group, which is a list of strings. There's one element, one string with the value ABC. That corresponds to this first answer. So that means that this one person gave yes responses to the questions A and B and C. Okay, now this cat is actually a join. So if there were more than one element in this list, it would join them together. Since there's only one element, it's just going to copy the one element. So I'm advancing, and now you can see CG is just a string ABC. So there's no longer a list. It's just a string now. And now we're going to put it into a set. So it looks like this now. It's a set of A and B and C, and the order is not expected to be preserved. And then we take the length of that. So the length of that is going to be 3, and then we add that to our counter, which is 0. Okay, now we're in here with the second group, which has 3 elements in this list, A and B and C. So when we cat them together or join them together, what are we going to get? We're going to get that. The A and the B and the C are all joined together with an empty string, which produces this. And then when we put them in a set, we're going to get the same result as we did for the first person's answer, because it's the same A, B, and C. So there they are. The length of that is 3. We add that, and now we're on to this one. So this one's a little more interesting because there's some overlap. And so when we join them together, we're going to get A, B, A, C. But when we put them in the set, we're going to lose the duplication. The A is not going to be in there twice. And there we go. So the length of that is 3, and so on. Okay, I think the only thing left to do maybe is just to give things better names. So let's call this one all group yeses. So this is all of the yeses in the group. And then let's call this next one unique all group guesses. Because when you put something in a set, the duplicates are removed. And then this we'll call num unique all group guesses. And then the counter we'll call num letters anyone got. I'll exit the debugger to make that a little nicer to look at. And there we go. So you've got this nice, tight, concise form of it, and then a longer form here. Now I think maybe just for fun, I'm going to recreate this from what we have. So let's start with this. So I'm going to make a generator expression here. And what am I going to do for every group in groups? Well, I'm going to do the cat of group. So let's put that in. And then we're going to turn it into a set. So we'll say set of cat of group. And then we're going to get the length of that set. So len of set of cat of group. And then we need to sum all those. So we'll say sum. And we'll return that sum. And I'll comment these lines out. And if there's no complaint when we run this, then we produce the 11 that we're looking for. Okay, in another video, I'll do his day 6 part 2, which is a little bit more complicated. You might be able to start to see why here. All right, see you next time.